Good afternoon. My name is Jack Kerfoot, and today is September 2nd, 2018. My podcast today discusses the question, who will dominate America's electric vehicle charging stations? In the United States, there are over 100,000 gas stations. 10 companies own over half of America's gas stations. And those top 10 companies are dominated by major oil companies like Shell, ExxonMobil, Chevron, and British Petroleum. The world has begun to move from combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles. Now the question is, who will dominate the EV charging stations of the future? Utilities, oil companies, state governments, entrepreneurs, technology companies, they're all evaluating the value of electric vehicle charging stations in America to replace the gas stations that we have today. In 2017, there were over 265 million registered vehicles in the United States. In the same year, there were only 750,000 electronic vehicles. However, the American automobile manufacturers estimate that there will be over 20 million electronic vehicles, or EVs, by 2020, and over 90 million EVs by 2030. The value of owning charging stations across America could be financially significant. Oil companies like Shell and BP have already made significant investments into EV charging stations, as well as renewable energies. In America, technology companies or entrepreneurs should never be counted out in a race to dominate EV charging stations. And also, a few utilities have begun to invest in charging stations for businesses or city governments with large pools of electronic vehicles. Personally, I would put my money on the oil companies to win the EV charging station race. Oil companies already own the land in the current for any charging station that they currently own with gasoline stations, which is a huge expense for a startup company. Oil companies are well-run companies with strong financial balance sheets. Purchasing EV charging stations for their existing gas stations is a relatively minor expense to simply modify the existing station. Gas stations today actually make the greatest profit from the sale of snacks and soft drinks, not the sale of gasoline. This model would also apply to oil companies that install EV charging stations. In my opinion, new entrants in the EV charging station race will face significantly higher startup costs and higher operating costs than the oil companies. Thank you very much. Good day.